concept of Egyptian beliefs in the afterlife is a cornerstone of ancient Egyptian culture, deeply influencing their daily lives, art, architecture, and societal norms. At its core, the Egyptian notion of the afterlife was rooted in the belief that existence continued beyond death, and that a metaphysical journey awaited every soul. This journey required preparation, guidance, and moral integrity to ensure a favorable outcome. The Egyptians envisioned an eternal life that mirrored earthly existence but devoid of suffering, underscoring the significance of living a life worthy of such an afterlife. Understanding this belief system is crucial because it reflects how the Egyptians oriented their daily lives around the idea of securing a place in the afterlife. It was not merely a religious concept, but a fundamental principle that permeated every aspect of their society. For instance, the construction of elaborate tombs and pyramids, like the Great Pyramid of Giza, served as monumental testaments to this belief, symbolizing not just the resting places for the deceased, but also as portals to eternity. Furthermore, the meticulous mummification process was not just about preservation of the body, but a sacred act ensuring the soul could recognize its physical form in the afterlife. In practical terms, this worldview manifested in daily life through the Egyptians' moral code and practices. The Book of the Dead, a collection of spells and prayers, was used to guide souls through the dangers of the afterlife, highlighting the importance of moral behavior and truthfulness. Such texts served as both spiritual tools and practical guides, ensuring that individuals lived in accordance with Ma'at, the principle of truth and cosmic order, to achieve eternal life. However, the complexity of these beliefs is not without its challenges and alternative viewpoints. Some modern scholars argue that the elaborate focus on the afterlife may have reinforced social hierarchies, as only the wealthy could afford grand burial practices and the required accoutrements. Additionally, while the idea of an afterlife was largely universal, differences exist in regional practices and interpretations, showcasing a dynamic and evolving belief system. These beliefs about the afterlife influenced not only religious practices, but also societal structures and individual behaviors. The emphasis on moral righteousness and preparation for the afterlife cultivated a culture intrinsically linked to spiritual aspirations, shaping the very essence of daily Egyptian life. Understanding this connection allows us to appreciate the profound impact of these beliefs on the civilization's legacy, from monumental architectural achievements to the intimate details of personal faith and ethics. The concept of Ma'at in ancient Egyptian belief was a fundamental principle embodying truth, balance, harmony, and cosmic order. Ma'at was viewed as both a goddess and the underlying level of order that the universe required to function properly. For the Egyptians, Ma'at was the divine order established by the gods, and it was essential for both the cosmos and society to adhere to it to prevent chaos. This concept was deeply interwoven into their understanding of the afterlife and daily life, influencing behaviors and societal norms. The significance of Ma'at in relation to how the afterlife shaped daily life is profound. Egyptians believed that living in accordance with Ma'at was essential for a favorable judgment in the afterlife. The weighing of the heart ceremony, a vital part of the journey to the afterlife, involved comparing the deceased's heart against the feather of Ma'at. A balanced heart indicated a life lived in truth and righteousness, granting passage to the afterlife. This belief translated into daily practices where individuals strive to uphold Ma'at through moral integrity, justice, and community duties, reflecting how deeply the afterlife was embedded in the day-to-day existence of ancient Egyptians. Examples of Ma'at in action can be seen in legal practices and architecture. The ancient Egyptian legal system was heavily influenced by the principles of Ma'at, emphasizing fairness and the social contract. Judicial officials were expected to act as upholders of Ma'at, ensuring justice and truth in their rulings. Architecturally, the design and construction of temples and pyramids were meant to reflect harmony and sacred geometry, further illustrating Ma'at's influence on daily life and the quest for eternal harmony. Supporters of the concept emphasize the enduring values of justice and balance, which have universal appeal. However, some may critique the rigidity of this system or question the implications of a society so tightly bound to religious precepts. Alternative viewpoints might argue that the emphasis on cosmic order could stifle individual freedom or promote a strict hierarchy. Mahat's influence extended beyond individual actions to broader societal functions, intertwining with political, religious, and cultural aspects of life. It dictated the roles of pharaohs as guarantors of Ma'at, ensuring that both the state and people remained aligned with divine order. Thus, Ma'at not only guided individual conduct, but also shaped governance and societal structures, reinforcing the interconnectedness of daily life and the everlasting journey to the afterlife in Egyptian belief. Preparation for the afterlife. Rituals and practices refers to the intricate and profound set of beliefs and procedures developed by the ancient Egyptians to ensure a successful transition from earthly life to the afterlife. This concept is pivotal in understanding how the Egyptians' view of immortality influenced their daily existence. The belief in a vivid afterlife permeated every aspect of Egyptian culture, where preparing for the journey beyond death was as crucial as living itself. This preparation involved complex rituals and practices believed to guarantee eternal life and protection in the afterlife, underscoring the Egyptians' perception of death not as an end, but as a continuation of the soul's journey. The significance of these rituals in ancient Egyptian society is immense. These practices not only shaped religious and cultural traditions, but also influenced social structures and economic activities. For instance, the construction of grand tombs like the pyramids and personal burial chambers was a significant economic driver, providing employment to scores of laborers and artisans. Preparing for the afterlife was a lifelong endeavor, which included mummification, the use of amulets, and the commissioning of funerary texts like the Book of the Dead, all intended to protect the deceased and guide them through the afterlife. Two prominent examples of these practices include the elaborate process of mummification and the creation of funerary art and texts. Mummification preserved the body so that the soul could recognize and return to it. This process was both a religious and practical technique, involving the removal of internal organs and the use of natron to dry the body, followed by wrapping in linen. Funerary texts, often inscribed on tomb walls or papyrus, provided spells and instructions for navigating the afterlife, ensuring the deceased could overcome obstacles and reach paradise. While the importance of these rituals is widely recognized, there are alternative viewpoints and controversies, particularly concerning the accessibility of such elaborate preparations. Typically, only the elite could afford extensive funerary preparations, highlighting disparities in social stratification. Moreover, some scholars argue that the focus on the afterlife may have detracted from addressing immediate societal problems. Ultimately, preparation for the afterlife was deeply interwoven with other facets of Egyptian life. It influenced art, architecture, and social hierarchies, creating a culture where religious practices ensured continuity between terrestrial life and eternal existence. Understanding these practices provides insight into the profound ways the belief in an afterlife shaped the daily lives and societal values of ancient Egyptians. Tombs and pyramids in ancient Egypt were not merely architectural feats. They were considered gateways to eternity, reflecting the Egyptians' deeply held beliefs about the afterlife. These structures served as both burial places and spiritual portals, designed to facilitate the deceased's journey to the afterlife, ensuring their immortality. The significance of tombs and pyramids lies in their ability to reveal how the afterlife shaped the Egyptians' daily lives, influencing everything from architectural advancements to social organization and religious practices. The construction of pyramids, such as the iconic Great Pyramid of Giza, exemplifies the central role these structures played in Egyptian society. As the final resting places for pharaohs, pyramids were meticulously designed to protect the body and possessions of the deceased, who were believed to live on in the afterlife. These massive edifices required the mobilization of vast resources, labor, and organization, highlighting the extent to which afterlife beliefs influenced economic and social systems. Similarly, the intricate tombs in the Valley of the Kings were equipped with elaborate wall paintings and grave goods intended to assist the deceased in the afterlife, further illustrating this integration of spiritual beliefs with daily activities. The Egyptians' investment in tombs and pyramids underscores their belief in an afterlife where the dead required sustenance and protection. Maintaining the favor of the gods and ensuring the safe passage of souls was a pervasive concern, evident in their funerary texts and rituals. Scholars such as Egyptologist Zahi Hawass argue that these structures symbolize a profound connection between the divine and mortal realms, representing the Egyptians' quest for eternal life and their understanding of the universe. However, challenges and controversies surround the interpretation of these structures. Some argue that the resources dedicated to building pyramids could have been allocated to other societal advances. Additionally, alternative viewpoints suggest that the labor force responsible for these projects was not solely comprised of slaves, but skilled workers who participated in a revered national enterprise, challenging long-held stereotypes. Ultimately, tombs and pyramids influenced various aspects of Egyptian culture, shaping religious practices, governance, and even technological advancements. They stand as a testimony to the Egyptians' devotion to the afterlife, serving as enduring symbols of their quest for immortality. In essence, these architectural marvels were more than just burial sites. They were the embodiment of a civilization's spiritual aspirations and a reflection of how deeply the afterlife was interwoven with the fabric of everyday life in ancient Egypt.